Flyweight bout. Joshua Van coming in at minus 225 against Kevin Borjas, making his debut at plus 185. Over under 1.5 rounds, minus 260 for the over, plus 210 for the under. Joshua Van made his UFC debut against Zhalgas Zhumagulov, picked up a big win there as an underdog. Kevin Borjas was on the Contender Series, picked up a win as an underdog there. He's an underdog here in his debut. Should be a good fight. Couple of young guys, 25 years of age for Borjas, 22 years of age for Joshua Van. Flyweights are always fun to watch. Both these guys got some really good striking on the feet. I'm excited to watch this one. Who you got?
Yeah, I was surprised to see Kevin Borjas as this big of an underdog, if I'm being honest. Borjas 9-1 in his professional career. I mean, he's looked really good on the regional scene. Gets a hard-fought decision win on the Contender Series, and has kind of shown that he can do, or he's got kind of a well-rounded game. If you watch him, he's tough as hell. He does a lot of damage while fights are on the feet. He's powerful. He's durable. I mean, he's kind of can do it all like in that aspect, I guess. For Joshua Van, though, the one major red flag for me is that the kid is only 22 years old. And we saw it last week with Denise Gomes. Like sometimes these fighters just aren't ready for this level, or they run into somebody who hits a little bit harder, who has slightly more volume, and they kind of crumble or break. I mean, Joshua Van came into the UFC fighting Zhalgas Zhumagulov, who is notorious for having a ton of losses on his UFC record. I thought he was cut from the UFC, honestly, and they brought him back, and he's fighting Joshua Van. I mean, he won that fight convincingly to me, but it was close enough to where one judge saw it for Zhalgas Zhumagulov, so he gets the split decision win. If you're not blowing a guy like Zhalgas Zhumagulov out of the water in your first debut fight, I don't know how you're a minus 200 favorite, or damn near minus 200 favorite, over a guy like Kevin Borjas, who's extremely tough. You know, these Peruvian fighters are coming into the Contender Series, into the UFC, and are just absolute dogs. They don't stop. You can't put them out. They're powerful, and I just can't justify Joshua Van being this big of a favorite. That being said, you know, if you're going to give me plus 180 to plus 200 on Borjas, I think I have to take that all day long based on what I've seen in the regional scene so far and what I saw in the Contender Series. I think he's a well-rounded fighter. I think he's going to have a good chin, and he's going to dish out some damage too. Joshua Van had some good striking against Zhalgas Zhumagulov. He wasn't overly powerful by any means. He's pretty fast. He had a really good outing, but you know, coming up against Borjas, if you can't put him out, he's probably going to walk through your shots and land some damage himself. And I just can't, I guess, justify taking a minus 200 favorite when he's 22 years old, not a lot of UFC experience or experience in general. So give me the underdog here. I'm going to take a shot on the dog. I think there's value there. Give me Kevin Borjas.
Yeah, I'm with you. This was actually a rebooking because they were supposed to fight on the Contender Series, but then Van got the call to the UFC, and then Borjas had another opponent. He fell out, and then he fought Victor Diaz on the Contender Series. So he was on short notice. Victor Diaz was a pretty sizable favorite against Borjas, and looked like it in the first round. Took him down, threatened with some submissions, and then after that, Borjas just kind of took over. Everything on the feet, he was piecing them up. The hand speed is there. The striking is there. These are two strikers that I think are just going to throw down. And I honestly think it could turn into like a 3-round war type of thing, or maybe a late finish. I think Borjas is getting a little bit undervalued here. I think that number on him is looking pretty dang good. I'm with you. I think it's probably a dog or pass in this one. I don't think I'd lay minus 225 on Joshua Van based off of one fight in the UFC against Zhalgas, who's been cut, and he's lost tons of fights by decision. It's just super hittable on the feet. I think Borjas should offer a little bit more on the feet as far as getting some respect. Like Borjas has got a laser of a right hand. He'll hunt it out, and if he hits Joshua Van with that, he'll feel it, and he'll have to respect it a lot more than anything Zhumagulov could have offered. So I'll take Borjas for the pick as well. I think he's tough, and the Peruvians seem to never let you down. So I'm going to ride with him.